What's good? What's good? What's good, fan? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man Cam. Got my man Cleavon on the West Coast, man. What's the weather like up there?
I'm talking about it, Cam. You already know how the weather is.
I mean, it's May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there, however you're listening, wherever you're listening to at. I mean, it's gonna be a cool 85 today. What's it like up there for you?
Once you guess, Cam, what the weather's like up here?
What is it, 43 and drizzly? I don't know, man.
Okay.
I have
Well,
no
you were
idea.
close. It's 49 and drizzly and cloudy.
Oh, it's 49, huh? Okay, you got a little heat wave going on up there. Okay, all right. Well, I'm rocking the Q's t-shirt. I don't know if you noticed, walking around in shorts and a t-shirt out here, man.
Okay.
Just to let you know, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Missed you guys last week. I was traveling, man, to see the demise of the Peers. It appears I was watching of those Clippers, but this week we're back. We're gonna talk NBA playoffs, Cleavon. We're gonna talk a little boxing, Cleavon. But Cleavon, this Kendrick Lamar versus Drizzy Drake, I don't know. This has to turn the music industry upside down. We got to get into that too, man. We're gonna get into that a little later. But first, let's talk about these playoffs and you know, I got some questions for you, Cleavon. I asked you during our show on Wednesday, and you was trying to be elusive with me. Jaylen Brown. Oh, it's round one. He hasn't really done anything yet. That's going to go to 7 games. Okay, well that didn't go 7 games. Okay. The Heat, they lost to the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. That series is over. It went 4-1. The Heat lost to those guys. The Knicks beat the 76ers in 6 games. Now, after the Knicks finish off the 76ers, I told you in that series there were 2 guys that had to be elevated in your rankings, Cleveland. 2 guys that deserved elevation. Are you really? Tyrese Maxey lost, so it's understandable why you wouldn't elevate Tyrese Maxey. In fact, you didn't even have him ranked in your category. That's how farce that category is. You didn't even have Tyrese Maxey ranked in your category.
He's the usual suspect.
Are you ready now to elevate Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson is still a usual suspect.
What does it take to elevate in your rankings? And clarify for the people. First, for those who missed it, you can check out these rankings that Cleavon just created out of the clear blue sky. You can check them out at voiceofthefans.org. Click on the sports news section. And what's the name of the article, Cleavon?
What it takes to win an NBA championship.
Fans, I am not in total agreement with this, with this farcical ranking system that he created. But he detailed it, and I'm chewing it. I'll be chewing this up for the rest until the finals, the NBA finals, where there will be another. Give the people the rankings, and then I'll have my discussion. Give the people. You got the newcomers, you got the young bloods, you got
Cam. There are certain categories to this, and how it goes is there are the newcomers. This is their first time leading their team to the playoffs. Example, Paolo Banchero. There are the usual suspects, players that can routinely get their teams to the playoffs, but don't really advance very far, typically not to the conference finals. That is where your Jalen Brunson types come in. Then there are your basketball legends, and those are players that can get their teams almost over the hump, but haven't quite been able to achieve the pinnacle that they're looking for. Example of that would be Jason Tatum. And then there are basketball gods, players that can single-handedly put a team on their back and carry them to the promised land. And that are players like Nikola Jokic.
Fans, you just heard this mess. I'm eager to know if you guys agree with this garbage or not. Because by his own breakdown right there, by his own little breakdown right there, he just gave us. What is Trae Young?
Trae Young is a usual suspect,
He's not a usual suspect.
But
They make the play. They were in the play-in tournament. They were in the play-in tournament.
He took his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if you recall.
They did one time, Cleveland, 3 years ago. Oh, that one time. Oh, that one time, 3 years ago.
And last year got into the playoffs, didn't do anything. So and this year didn't get to the playoffs. So a usual suspect.
How is he usual suspect if you don't make the playoffs, Cleveland? You see what I'm saying, fan? You see how
he's typically there. He's typically there. Somewhere unusual.
3 years.
I believe he made the playoffs the last 3 years, so he's a usual suspect.
He didn't make the playoffs this year.
Okay, well, I mean, Steph Curry didn't make the playoffs this year either. Is that? I mean, are we going to downgrade him for not making the playoffs this year?
He deserves a downgrade. He's
still a basketball god. I mean, he's still a 4-time NBA champion.
Who's that? I'm sorry. Who are you referring to? You threw out a name in there.
I was talking about Steph Curry. Are we going to downgrade him because he didn't make the playoffs this year?
He has 4 rings. What are we talking about now? Again, here you go again. Who you are again comparing? I got on Reggie Miller about this, comparing Trae Young to Steph Curry, and here you trying to do that crap. I got on Reggie Miller, and you saw the video of that.
I was not comparing their games whatsoever. I was simply saying.
You just said, should we downgrade Steph Curry?
And we're talking about saying Steph Curry didn't make the playoffs, but are we going to say that he doesn't typically make the playoffs? He typically makes the playoffs, right?
That sounds like a comparison to me. To me. And I just frustration. BS list. The Pacers beat the Bucks. Excuse me. Do you downgrade Giannis for not participating in the playoffs 2 seasons in a row?
I don't. He's been injured.
2 seasons in a row. I mean, come on.
He's been injured 2 seasons in a row. I mean, how many seasons has Kawhi Leonard been injured? I'm not downgrading him. I mean, he's still a great player when he's there. Sometimes the best ability is availability, though, right?
What is it? Just for conversation's sake, where is Dame Lillard in this ranking?
He's a usual suspect.
Okay, we got the Cavaliers playing the Mavericks. Now, Donovan Mitchell.
Cavaliers are playing the Magic.
I keep saying the Mavericks. They're playing the Mavericks. They're on right now playing Game 7. I'm have to tune into that game and see. You want to make a pick for Game 7? I picked 2 of my. I'm correcting 2 of my 3 upsets. So far have been correct. I said the Dallas Mavericks are going to beat the Los Angeles Clippers. That has happened. I said the Pacers are going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. That has happened. And I did pick the Magic to beat the Cavaliers. They're 3-3 right now, Cleveland. Where do you stand in the series, though? Who do you have winning the series?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Let's see, fans. When you go on a limb and make a prediction, versus somebody who don't make a prediction, you see who's confident in their actual prediction. You can see who's confident in what they're talking about, and I didn't have to create some gimmicky graphic to show my confidence either. And that was easy. I did it before the playoffs started, but some people just don't have the confidence or their conviction to make a pick like that. Let's see if I can pull this game. Get the screen that's going to let me pull it up right now. We might have action. Let's see. No, so Cleveland, the Thunder sweep the Pelicans. Where do you rank SGA in your category? Does SGA rank?
He's the usual suspect.
SGA is a usual suspect. I don't think. Did they make the playoffs last season?
Did they make the playoffs last year?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Maybe no. So then, welcome, newcomer.
Oh. The Nuggets beat the Lakers, and the fallout of the Nuggets beating the Lakers. Darvin Ham becomes a 6th casualty of LeBron James, of coaching a LeBron James team who does not excel in the playoffs. You want to share your thoughts about that?
No, it was more than time. The team had
More than time.
tuned him out. He didn't know how to make adjustments. He was in way over his head, coaching the most storied franchise in the National Basketball Association, and it was time for him to go.
So who you looking at now?
Oh man, we're looking around. We haven't decided.
You're gonna get Budenholzer because JJ Redick, who actually I had a conversation with JJ Redick in Dallas. He's a pretty cool dude. You're gonna have a conversation. You're gonna bring JJ Redick in because he now does a podcast with LeBron. Is he now the front runner for the head coaching position?
Cam, we're reviewing all options at this point. We haven't really come to a conclusion or a decision. But the fact that the vacancy for the most storied franchise is currently up, I see some other teams around scrambling to get some other deals done with their current coaches. I'm not going to name any names, but certainly sounds like there's a little bit of fear going on in that new building that's coming up in Los Angeles. You have any word on that?
On the Intuit Dome when that opens in August.
No. On the contract negotiations with one particular coach that has apparently accelerated since the Lakers vacancy has come up.
Well, I remember the coach. I just heard the coach say the other night that he wants to stay there. If Ballmer will have him, and do you think for 1 minute, do you think from one moment, Ballmer is going to let his coach walk across the hall? Well, he's going to have to go down the street by the time next season starts. He's going to have to go, catch an Uber down the road. But do you think for one moment that Ballmer is going to lose his head coach to Jeannie Buss? Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I believe he will throw all of the resources at his disposal to not have that happen. And
so what are we talking about?
Certainly, there is a fear factor going on now, isn't it?
Once again, Cleveland.
Certainly, there is a fear factor.
Just clarify for the people what position Ballmer holds in the fiscal world. Just.
He's the 10th wealthiest man on planet Earth.
And you think there's a chance that Jeannie is going to steal him from the Clippers? Is that what you think?
No, that's exactly what I said. I think he will use every resource at his disposal in order to not let that happen. However, there's a fear factor regarding that. That's why he's going to make him the highest.
No fear factor. If Ty Lue needs a new car, if he wants a new deck on his house,
no.
We can take care of all that.
Like you just said, money is no object here. So it's going to be I'm going to make sure that you don't don the purple and gold like you're supposed to.
Like he's supposed to. Everybody doesn't need to be wearing the the purple and gold. Everybody doesn't need to wear that.
Ty Lue already knows where his glory days began. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be too hard to jump right back into that.
You know what? The Lakers actually had a chance.
I believe he has some purple and gold gear still in his closet right now. It's just, he just has to move it to the front instead of in the back right now.
The Lakers actually had a chance to sign him years ago.
Sure did. And he got greedy.
And typically, as they typically do, they try to lowball him.
And he got greedy.
Lowball him. And he wanted to select his own coach. And they said,
got greedy. And now because that job is vacant again, he's up to salary. He's made himself in demand by just the threat that he might leave and go to the purple and gold.
So in other words, you guys just don't have enough to get that guy. You guys might well not even look down the hall. What's up, Boots? I totally agree with you, Boots. I totally agree with you. Darvin Ham got these guys to the Western Conference Finals last year. Darvin Ham won the inaugural in-season tournament this season, and that team was good enough to win then. That was just a measly 4 months ago that they won that inaugural in-season tournament that everybody puts their hopes and dreams in. The Lakers even hung a banner. The Lakers even hung a banner for the in-season tournament. And now all of a sudden, that they get ran out of the gym by the Dallas or the Denver Nuggets, excuse me. They want the coach gone. Come on, I agree with you. LeBron runs too many coaches off. Yeah, for God's sake, he wanted Eric Spoelstra fired. Eric Spoelstra fired. I mean, I wish you would do a ranking on the coaches, Cleveland, and let me know each coach that LeBron James had ran off and where those coaches stand. Because Eric Spoelstra, if you remember, he was crying for Pat Riley, and Pat Riley is like, no, it's not happening. If you want to win, you're going to win with that guy. Stop knocking on my office door and go talk to the head coach.
That was actually Dwayne's call. He didn't want Pat to come back down from Mount Olympus because he remembered how rigorous those practices were, and he wanted no parts of that again.
So it wasn't LeBron who tried to elbow check the
no, certainly it was, and let us not forget. I mean, Spoelstra went from videographer to that position, and he was a little bit over. He was a little bit over his skis in the beginning, but the Godfather talked to him and kind of straightened things out, calmed him down a little bit, and they went on a run. But that team was 500 when LeBron was asking for it.
So what happened? You go to the lab, you get better. Stop trying to blame everybody else around you. Get better. Accept some, like Michael Wilbon said this week. Accept some responsibility. If you want to call yourself the GOAT, accept some responsibility. Go to the lab. Get better yourself. Get your teammates better. You did a good job this year by having your AD. You helped him play 72 games. Great job. Great job by. Great job by LeBron James. Get AD to play 72 games. Get better. Get more out of your squad. Stop looking to somewhere else and we're going to add this team. We're going to go get DeJounte Murray, or we're going to get Trae Young, or we're going to get Steph Curry, or should we call Phoenix for KD? Stop all that. Get better. Make your team better. Make your team better. And and try again next year. That's all I can say. Try again next year. Like the Clippers. The Clippers got to try again next year. I don't know.
Don't compare the Los Angeles Lakers to the Clippers, for crying out loud, Cam. There's no comparison there.
What are you talking about? They both went out in the first round. The Clippers actually won one more game in the first round.
Lakers have history. Clippers have none. What Charles Barkley say?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What Charles Barkley say about that new Intuit Dome?
I don't know what it's going to be. The dopest dome in
ain't nothing into it, because there ain't going to be no banners. It's just going to be a bunch of empty spaces up there.
They're gonna
at least they'll save the man hours of covering up all those banners every home game. Probably save themselves $1 million with that labor bill.
They're gonna open the season with high school jerseys from all high schools in California.
So isn't that special?
They're representing all of California.
So you know why they're doing that, Cameron? Because they don't have any to bring themselves. Not one.
Timberwolves sweep the Suns. You want to talk about the Timberwolves sweeping the Suns? And do you want to tell the fans where you have Anthony Edwards ranked? I mean, I don't remember him being mentioned in your article. You want to tell him where you have tell the fans where you have Anthony Edwards ranked in your felonious
rankings? Well, Cam, Anthony Edwards is a unique example.
Oh, here we go.
Because
here we go, fans.
Typically,
here we go.
I would say he's a usual suspect.
I mean, okay,
right.
In his third year, he's a usual suspect.
He's a usual suspect. I mean, he's you expect him to be in the playoffs, right?
Okay. Now you want to elevate him.
Listen now, I'm not done. But he has come with a ferocity this playoffs, like he really wants to be in the conversation. And my goodness, is he not performing like it in the first round and early in the second round? Punched the Nuggets in their face, in their building. However, that does not make him. However, it is the second round, and that doesn't make him a playoff legend just yet. However, he does look like he is on that trajectory, and if he continues with that same ferocity and that same, like, I don't care who you are, I'm stepping over you, I'm putting my foot on your neck, and I'm going to the next round, well then, I'll have no choice but to elevate him on the list. But right now, he's a usual suspect.
But a guy like Jalen Brunson, who was doing stuff that the franchise has never seen before, one of the preeminent franchises in all of all of basketball.
It absolutely is not.
What?
No, that's only Knicks fans think that.
The New York Knicks are not one of the preeminent basketball organizations in all of the NBA?
No.
Did you just say that?
No, they are not.
So now, okay, let me phrase this a different way. So Jalen Brunson, who was doing things that not even your guy Carmelo Anthony has done in the NBA playoffs, is not warranted of elevation consideration. But you're ready to say that Anthony Edwards is?
I mean, you can say Jalen is on that same trajectory, and I guess I'll give him that.
You give him some consideration.
But I mean, right now he's still a usual suspect. He got past the first round. Congratulations. I don't even know if he outplayed Joel Embiid on one leg. I mean, that's speculative.
Oh my goodness.
Don't act like Joel wasn't giving it to him. Come on now.
I mean, it's not like they were playing one-on-one now. It's not like they were playing one-on-one, so settle down.
Okay, so Jalen Brunson did a good job getting his team out of the first round, and look how fortunate he is. He gets to play the Indiana Pacers, who beat up on an injured Milwaukee Buck team. So he could very well get his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Do you have? We'll put it out there right now. Do you have the Celtics? Do you have the Knicks beating the Pacers?
Yes.
So you expect him to get his team out to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I expect him to get his team to the Eastern Conference Finals, yes.
Do you have the Cleveland Cavaliers or Orlando Magic continue with the number one seed in the Eastern Conference?
No.
So we're looking at a New York Knicks versus the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I kind of agree with that one. In fact, I do agree with that one. So in the Western Conference, we got OKC and Dallas that starts Tuesday. Who's your favorite in that one? Because you don't believe in OKC, so it has to be Kyrie and Luka.
Right.
How many games did that go?
6.
And where do you have Luka? You told me the other day Kyrie is a basketball god, kind of by association. Correct. Where's Luka stand in your category, in your list, in your rankings?
I mean, if he gets them to the Western Conference Finals, he's scratching the surface of basketball legend, but I would really like to see him get to the finals in order to really make that distinction.
Scratching the surface of NBA legend, Luka Doncic is the MVP category, the MVP contender. You have him scratching the surface.
Yeah, right now he's just a usual suspect that gets a team into the playoffs, and sometimes they can.
I'm not sure. I think Luka led the league in passing. Luka, darn near.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about your regular season stats. Not a single one of them.
Minnesota Timberwolves. You didn't believe in them all season. You got something. This is kind of you got the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA championship. So you're a little compromised right now. You're a little compromised and concerned because Anthony Edwards. I mean, they showed you Karl Anthony Towns. You had me rooting for Karl Anthony Towns. You actually had me rooting for Karl Anthony Towns at this very moment. Rudy Gobert. I mean, Mike Conley. Can the Denver Nuggets get past these guys? Let alone get to the Western Conference Finals. Can the Denver Nuggets get past Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Not if Anthony Edwards has anything to say about it, and so far he's had quite a bit to say about it. I still don't think that is sustainable, but we will see.
You don't think that Anthony Edwards is doing it sustainable. I mean, you haven't thought that all year long. I mean, why would now it be any different?
Well, I mean, he's balling out of control, Cam. I mean, I'm not being vain about this. Like, man, did you see this coming? I mean, he ran roughshod through.
You clearly forget that he was my pick for most valuable player in the league. You clearly forget that.
Again, you're talking to me about that regular season stuff. I don't talk about
that matters.
Stuff.
The regular season
things during the playoffs.
Prepared you for what you're doing now.
Him running through Phoenix 4 straight, Absolutely. And then
Phoenix was a speed.
Okay, and so then you saw him going to Denver and winning on Denver's court.
Oof.
First game. You saw that coming?
Oof.
Even your lofty expectations didn't see that coming. So if he continues like that, I mean, yeah, he's shutting me up.
Jaden McDaniel,
me and quite a few other people.
This is where I'm gonna get. This is where I'm gonna win my money, fans, and then I'm gonna have me a big rib dinner, fans. Just so you know, a couple things before I move on. I've given up meat, fans. In the last 2 weeks, I've given up meat. It's only vegetables. Okay, it's only vegetables. But Cleveland, we got something on the line, and Cleveland's gonna have me order a tri-tip dinner with some chow from where, Cleveland? You remember the name of the place? Where's the name of the place?
I don't remember where you get your chum from. That's none of my business. I'm not even thinking about that right now. I got Denver. You have the field.
Well, at Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, you know that guy, Nicole Anthony, Alexander Walker,
You can stop
Daniels, Kyle Anthony.
You can stop with your list.
Anthony.
You started it out with Karl Anthony Towns and
TJ Warren.
You can stop it right there.
They gonna feed me, baby. I'm looking to you guys for a nice tri-tip dinner before it happens. What's your thoughts on the Mavericks and the Thunder? How far do you think that's gonna go? The Dallas Mavericks and the OKC Thunder. That a 6 or 7 game series?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. Oh, it's gonna be easy for Luka and Kyrie.
I think so.
Against SGA?
Well, that's a problem. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm not going to sit here and say
Williams brothers.
I am not going to sit here and say
you said 5 games.
Problem.
You said 5 games.
I'm not going to sit here and say Chet might not be a lightweight problem, but I think that they're a little over their head.
Say they're a little lightning cakes. Lightning cakes,
and a little lightning cakes, and a little
over their head. Okay,
and a little experience.
I mean, just help me out. I'm not, help me out. I'm just a novice basketball fan. How much experience does Dallas have in the playoffs?
Oh, Luke and Kyrie have plenty, and actually, Dallas goes to the playoffs all the time. They just haven't really, done anything substantial. Actually, they got to the Western Conference Finals. So, I mean, Kyrie was supposed to be that additional piece to get them over the hump, and they certainly think so. So I don't think they're going to let OKC stand in their way.
So let me tell you, after watching, it is going to be a hell of a series. You guys got to tune in. So after seeing this up close, Kyrie Irving, after seeing him up close in one game, scored 2 points in the first quarter, come back and score 29. Scored 21 in the second quarter. Oh my goodness. Or 21 in the second half. Oh, unbelievable.
What have we always said about Kyrie? As long as it stays on the basketball court, he's quite possibly one of the most dangerous players.
And this is another thing I want to bring up. Kyrie has matured, and he spoke about this. He was asked kind of about Kyrie was asked about leading his teammates. These guys, he said specifically, these guys are younger. I'm at a different stage in my career and when I was at their age, I didn't see the game the same way. Now I'm trying to help them see what the game is and where it's about, and take them. Kyrie is matured. I was very impressed by Kyrie, and not only did he score 21 in the second half, I think the next night he scored 40, and 32 of those came in the second half. Like when the money's on the line, there's not many better than Kyrie Irving. There's not many. We gotta fans. We're gonna have to recognize that we all know the list of little guys that have gotten their team to the finals single handedly, right? We all know that list. It's very short. It's very short. Cleveland, you can name. You could. I think there's only two guys. Name. You can name the two, right?
Isaiah and Steph.
Well, so Steph would be the third guy, not the guy I was considering. But Steph had a team around him, so that's a single.
I led his team to the finals, but didn't win the chip.
But no, I said led their team to the finals.
Okay.
Steph had more of a team around them, as you could say that same for Isaiah, but he was more the leader of that team than Steph is the leader of his team. Only because Steph had more pieces. And I say that only because Steph had more pieces. But Isaiah and Allen Iverson is who I was alluding to. And should they romp all over OKC like you're expecting? They'll be faced with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and if they can overcome that hurdle, and Luka and Kyrie, for Dallas Mavericks to get to the finals, Kyrie's going to have to continue to be spectacular, which he's been. He's going to have to continue to be spectacular. Kyrie, we're going to have to put some respect on dude's name. Like
Kyrie's always had respect. Kyrie has had respect on his name.
This point,
no. Kyrie has had respect on his name since that Game 7 performance.
But it's always been, but what if, but if not for, that's always been added to when you say Kyrie Irving. If not for. I can no longer say a disparaging word against Kyrie Irving. No longer.
Why? You're reading this false narrative. He's leading you down. He's leading you.
There's no false narrative
into a place that you're expecting. Best case scenario, but Kyrie Irving has proven that he can pick up a newspaper and not like what's going on in the world and just need to take 30 days off.
See, this is what you're not understanding.
And he said, "I've learned from my past discretions. I've learned from my maturity, or I've matured since then. I've learned from those past mistakes. And if you're willing to believe him, that's fine. For me, it's like, nah, man, get through the playoffs without any hiccups first."
I've already seen it. I've already seen it. And okay, in all fairness, when you hear it from the horse's mouth, it hits a little different. And I bought into what and this makes me so frustrated about that team in Massachusetts. I bought into what they were telling me a few years ago. Like, what are you guys doing back here in Atlanta playing a game 5 in Atlanta in the NBA playoffs in round 1? What are you guys doing down here for this game? And we got it. This won't happen again, but that continues to happen. So I was blinded by what they were telling me. You're absolutely right. I was blinded by the kid in Memphis when he says, "I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straightening up now." I was blinded by that as well. But I saw this kid on the court and looking at what the kid did and how he's playing. And this guy is coming to the game in suits now. He's not coming in the long baggy jeans. He's not coming in the oversized sweaters. He's coming to the game in suits now. He's coming to the game with as a role model. So yes,
Kyrie Irving is nobody's role model, bro. Just do your Uncle Drew magic on the court, man, and don't get distracted and be Kyrie Irving. Don't try and be all these other things that you're not. One which is being a leader in the world.
Okay, Sports Nisa. I feel you.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm telling you. What I've seen.
Why are you buying into this? That's like I almost went to my guy. Like, that's what broke Carmelo Anthony. They wanted him to be all these other things. No, man. I just come.
He's not that. This is not Carmelo.
Buckets, man.
This is not Carmelo.
Just be on the court doing Kyrie stuff, man.
And he's doing it.
Don't try to be your leader, ambassador, spokesman, role model. None of that, man. Just roll the basketball out.
Woo. Shout out to Sports Niche. She got me. Okay, Las Vegas. Well, we got this is basketball season, and we got a lot of players. Buckets. It's
Yeah,
facts.
for sure.
He's playing his part this year. Um, we got basketball. We got a lot of basketball action to get to. Playoffs is just exciting as always. So let's
It's
keep it up.
wonderful.
Cleveland, did you see Canelo against Munguia last night?
Man, let me guess. Canelo won in a lopsided victory against an inferior opponent. Is that kind of how that
Well,
went?
the ruling was it was a lopsided victory. It was actually closer, I thought, than the judge had it. But Canelo
I
did
said
win
one of them
this.
had a 115, 113. I mean, how much closer is it going to get?
I mean, there was a 117 to 111, I think it was. Like, come on now. It wasn't like that. But what we have on the horizon though. We have on the horizon June 15th. Tank Davis, your guy, Tank Davis comes back. He fights Frank Martin. Yeah, please explain that. I know you was there. You everywhere. You everywhere. Cinnamon got to get with Benavidez. That have you're right. It has to happen. It's something that we've been saying for a long time.
And,
And
and,
it
and
has.
what is he doing, Cam? He's hiding behind the money and the promotions. Mm-hmm.
Well, he can't really hide
As soon
anymore.
as the money's right, I'm in there. I want to fight him. As soon as
A
the
lot
money's
of
right, but
often,
there's all these obstacles, all this red tape. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it this year.
oftentimes, the media, boxing media, fans don't press Canelo on who he should be fighting. They don't press him. Okay, they show up and kind of give him that Manny Pacquiao love. You show up, just show up and let's see a fight.
Yeah.
This weekend he was actually
And bring
being
your
pressed.
country and bring your countrymen and fight on El Cinco de Mayo. Fight one time in September, and we'll just keep calling you great.
This weekend he's actually being pressed about why aren't you fighting Benavidez? You should be fighting Benavidez, et cetera, et cetera. And so I see this happening eventually. I see this happening eventually, and it got to happen this year or early next year. I mean, because
Come on, man. You're talking about
Canelo's going to
boxing.
be done.
You're talking about boxing, so don't be trying to there's some urgency. There's no urgency with boxers. There's no urgency with promoters. That's the problem.
See, that's what I'm saying. I noticed that from afar.
That's because people are tired of it. Because people are tired of his ducking ways, just like in Rocky 3, man. Tired of all these handpicked people that you're supposed to beat and you beat. Great.
I don't see this one. I don't see him getting in the ring with Crawford. I would like to see it. I don't see him getting in the ring with Crawford. But yeah, other than Benavidez, I don't see him fighting Crawford. He has more of a chance to fighting Benavidez than Crawford. I mean, I don't see that happen. I don't see that happen. Nonetheless, Benavidez, we got Tank Davis fighting on Frank Martin on June 15th back in Vegas at MGM Grand. David Benavidez is fighting on that undercard. Alexander Gosdick, excuse me. So that should be another good fight, another fight for David Benavidez too. Are you familiar with David Benavidez? Do you know where David Benavidez's training camp is? His gym is Cleveland.
I don't know where his gym is.
His gym is off of Aurora in Federal Way. You got to swing by there and tell him what's up. It's out in Federal Way. So he went from Arizona to up in Seattle. So you got to check him
out. Like that one up there with where Benson Henderson used to train.
I'm not sure. I know it's off Aurora in Federal Way. That's as much I can tell you.
Okay.
We got Tyson versus Jake Paul on the 20th of July. I thought that was June. 20th of June. I want to say that's 20th of June. I may be mistaken. And then we got Terrence Crawford fighting August 3rd in LA. Like, that's a good reason to go to LA right there for me. Man, go ahead and announce that. Are you telling us something? Are you telling us something that we don't know? You got a date for that fight? Because
I like that insider information. I like that insider information.
Oh, she got a lot of inside scoop too. UFC. You want to know some UFC info? Follow Sportsnista on IG and Twitter. Um, she's connected. So yeah, that and now give us a date because that would make that happen. That would push that to happen. That would push that to happen sooner than later. And while he's just uh, avoiding, he still continues to avoid Benavidez. But why would just as a boxer, why would you avoid Benavidez to fight the most dangerous man on in boxing right now? Like that don't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Um, I mean, yeah, that's where the money is coming from. That's where most of it's coming from right now, and that's the big dollars are coming from. But just as a boxer, like, why would he go fight Crawford, the most dangerous man in boxing right now, to avoid David Benavidez? I mean,
Because he
unless he
doesn't
already
think he can
knows
beat him.
he's gonna get that whooping.
You don't think he can beat him.
Unless,
He knows he's
unless
gonna lose.
I mean, he doesn't think he can't pretend he can't think he's gonna beat Crawford.
The aura of invincibility will be, exposed.
Yeah, okay. I mean, dollars, yeah.
I'm sorry, and boxing is rigged and crooked, so there's all kinds of promoters that want their cut first. So you see how ugly that De La Hoya thing ended, right?
Did you see De La Hoya's video that he put out?
Sure did.
What is my dog? Was he back into his post fighting days?
Like you want to get in the ring, like okay, like are you getting in the ring? The way you're talking, are you getting in the ring, Oscar? Man,
I thought about his post fighting days. Like, come on, dog. Like, dude, what are you?
Woo!
You're supposed to be past that point. He's supposed to be past that point.
Yeah. Definitely let his pride get in the way for that one.
But fans talking about pride getting in the way and supposed to be past that point. I don't know what you guys have been consumed with this past week, but this has been the most exciting week. Cleveland, well, correct me if I'm wrong, Cleveland. I believe this has been the most exciting week in hip hop. Like, I can't remember a week. I remember when they had the verses. We were anxious to see the verses, but that was concert-ish, right? When they came out, the various verses. Like again, one night, one show that made it exciting. I can't remember other than a couple times when the Chronic 2001 was released. Like that was an exciting moment because you can bump that whole CD and you didn't have to take it out. Back when EP or NWA's EP came out before their first CD came out. Like that EP, like had everybody anticipating the tape at the time coming out, and so we just played that on a loop. Cleveland, has there been a more exciting time than anyone I mentioned in hip hop to you?
You know, Cam, just from the sheer volume of tracks that have come out in such a short period of time, as you were mentioning before, I can't think of a similar scenario in hip hop. I mean, with regards to hip hop, it's always been like something that's like eagerly being anticipated that you want to hear, right? Like someone is, supposed to drop something. I remember when Dre was supposed to drop Detox for like a decade and never actually did it, but it was like always
still waiting on it.
Yeah, we're still waiting on it. So it was always like this eagerly anticipated thing. It's like, ooh, can't wait. Oh, is that a track from that? Really? And it like never happened, right? So this is so much different than that because you kind of always knew that this beef was ultimately going to escalate, but no one had any idea it was going to escalate to these proportions. And just the mere fact that someone could come out with that many tracks in that short a period of time and delve into someone's life and get that personal about it is quite unprecedented in hip hop, to be honest.
Man, these guys, Drake. I mean, Drake is cool. I'm not a huge fan of Drake, but Drake with the push-ups with the dope beat, came with a banger. Like I was like, okay, Drake. Okay, I hear you, Drake. I'm listening to you. Um, and then he responded with the Tailor Made with the Tupac and Snoop on it and AI. Now he was forced to take that down, but that was creative. That was some creative. That was very creative, I thought, and especially in the terms of where they were going. Um, that was very creative. There was some great content there. I mean, he Tupac line was funny. Snoop line I thought was just as funny. Um, but his line is like your label. You're in the scope right now, and you're gonna feel the aftermath of what I write down. Like, oh okay, oh, okay, Drake. He said, "I get more love in the city that you from." Like, oh my goodness! Like Drake was really Drake really went to the well. Um, and then he finished off with I don't care what Cole thought, which J. Cole, I mean, shout out to J. Cole. He clearly saw what was the writing on the wall and said, thanks, but no thanks. I'll go somewhere and enjoy my peace on the beach.
That's a wise move in retrospect, right? as you can kind of see where this is going. Wow. Everyone thought he was kind of being a coward. Like, no, brilliant move, man.
But Drizzy said, I don't care what Cole thinks. That K Dot shit was weak as fuck. Like, I don't agree with that. But okay. Again, that was in the push-ups. Then he dropped the Tailor Made. Talking about he was needling the bear. Like the next one about to bring out the coward in you. How you not in the booth right now? It feel like you're kind of removed. Like Drake, I'm like Drake, back off. Like I don't. Is this your kind of game, Drake? Snoop, Kanye, 50 album was coming out the same day.
I do remember that. That was pretty big.
Okay, all right. That gave us again a lot of material, material for the hip hop artists. Thanks, Boots. And he said, "You, you trying to let this shit die down? No, not this time. Yeah, I'm gonna force you to." He forced him to follow through, and he said, "I guess you need another week to figure it out and try to how to improve." And then Kendrick came with the Euphoria. I mean, so Drake came with some bangers, though, some banging beats that kind of got you rowdy a little bit. Kendrick just kind of smoothed out and mellowed it down with the beat. He opened up with the smooth beat, like for something you could smoke to, something you could just cruise with in the old school Cutlass, or the Oldsmobile. The famous actor we once knew is acting paranoid and spiraling. I mean, like, called him a master manipulator and a habitual liar too. Oh my goodness! Like, and then he went to how many more?
He went to outer space and back on that song, man. He went so many different places. I mean, there were so many different disparaging, hurtful, distasteful metaphors in that song. So many that there's actually an article on the Ringer that actually breaks down what all of these metaphors mean, like in depth. And some of them are even more sinister than they appear on the surface, man. It's classic, man. It is an epic tear down of another rapper.
How many more fairy tales about your life till we had enough? How many more features till you feel like you're black enough? Like dog, Kendrick, ease up on this. Like ease up. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing this. I'm like, ease up. And this is just again to the beat switch out. He came with a different beat, came with a harder beat. And then he hit him with this. Let's speak on percentages. and show me your splits. I'll make sure to double back with you. You was signed to a nigga that was signed to a nigga who was signed with to that other nigga. Like talking about whatever he sells is already broken down 4 times before he gets his money. Like,
yeah, how are you going to go into like the personal finances? I mean, this is after going into all of the other insecurities that you have as a man, as a person, as a rapper. I mean, it's and that's just part one of this.
Yeah, I mean this, and I'm just pulling on a couple lines. Ain't 20v1 is 1v. It ain't 20v1. It's 1v20. If I gotta smack all the niggas that write with you, like I'm gonna write all you guys, not just you, because we know you use ghostwriters, but I'm gonna get all you guys, bring them all out. I'll clean them out too. Oh my goodness gracious! I mean, okay. If that wasn't enough, so that was what, Friday? I think it was. When we were Sunday, Thursday or Friday, he came with that one. Then Drake dropped Family Matters.
That was
with another dope beat, and he went to the he went low. Drake went low.
Yeah,
he opened up when you mentioned the seed. You mentioned my seed. Now you got to deal with his dad. Like, okay, like now you got my attention, Drizzy. He mentioned Cole. He brought up Cole. Nigga Cole losing sleep on this. Believe me, I'm not. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. So it's like, which tells me there's something else in the mix right now. He out here banging for attention, nigga. Please, nigga, say please. Always rapping, rapping like you about to get the slave free. Oh my goodness, you acting like an activist is make believe. Like, come up. I mean, he just went at his whole little
his whole
identity.
So
I mean, he just went after his identity right there. Bow, one shot. It just one shot. Like, whoa. You the Black Messiah.
And then he just ended that song with just such ferocity, man. I mean, okay. Like, that's like Drake at his absolute best, but that's the whole point about Drake, right? Like, how often do you really actually see that? It's like 5% of what he does, right? It's not like what he does most of the time. Most of the time, you're gonna get like what's that? Hotline Bling or whatever. That you get that kind of material.
You getting the club bangers. You're getting the club bangers. The run one on the radio.
You get the mall music.
The mall music.
You're walking around in the mall type stuff. That's typically what you get. And I don't know about you, but I don't really like it when my hip hop artists sing on the songs. That's just not really a thing, man.
I mean, NPMD made it a thing. EPMD.
They were just pretending, though. They were just being funny. Drake actually does it for real.
What you call it made it a thing too. I mean, that was his whole Nate Dogg was his whole thing.
But he didn't rap.
Okay, fair enough.
He just sang hooks. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, like, you don't want Rakim like being like seriously like singing like a song. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a thing.
I mean, he went out Rakim too. He went out Rakim and on the same track. Rakim, Weekend, the Rick Ross, and
how are you gonna go against Rakim Allah? What did Rakim do?
He went at Rakim with a couple lines.
That was weird.
Then he said,
how much
he said, "Where your uncle at? Because I want to talk to the man in the house."
Ooh. Yeah,
oh my goodness.
That was another Shiv in the shower type move right there. Yeah.
We get it that you think you're Bishop and Juice. Oh my goodness! Oh, when you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense or because she's bigger than you? Oh my goodness!
Ooh.
Like, oh my, like that. That's something he was holding on. That was something he was holding. He was holding that one. He was holding that one for the right moment. Like, okay, wow. All right, then here we go. If this what makes this so bananas for the hip hop world, fans, is that Kendrick dropped 2 hours later was 616 with the smooth Al Green beat. Now I like the Al Green beat. I think the Al Green beat took something away from his lyrics. The beat, the beat is nice, but again, like I said earlier, it's just something for you to chill to and relax to. But he gave him some heaters in that one. Um, I can heal and give you art, but the industry is cooked, and I just picked the carcass apart. Like telling it, and we knew this from years ago when he said he was the best. He's just picking at cats. Like you really don't want to know because I'm just picking at all you dead cats. Um, have you ever thought OVO is working for me? Whew. If you're street smart, you see that you would have caught that your entourage is only there to hustle you. 100 niggas that you on your salary, and 20 of them want you as a casualty. Like again, that's coming and it's coming on a beat that is so mellow out. Like you're supposed to be just chill, smoking something, listening to that one. Then he finishes off. But your reality can't hide behind Wi-Fi. Your middle, your little memes is losing steam. Like, oh my goodness, Kendrick. If that wasn't enough,
That wasn't enough.
as if that was not enough, he drops with the meet the grams. I mean, come on. Well, he writes a letter to Drake's parents, and not the parent. He writes a letter to his father, his mother, and father, and his son,
and his daughter. That's all
well,
kids.
Well, it's unproven that he has a daughter, but he wrote the letter to his parents and the family. He said, "It don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership." Oh my goodness, like Kendrick. Um, don't have a kid to hide again. Again, that's it's supposed to be his daughter, but we don't. It's unproven if he actually has a daughter. He says to his dad, though, "I'm blaming you for all the gambling addictions, psychopath intuitions, the man that likes to play the eviction. You raised a horrible person. The nerve of you, Dennis." He tells his mom him and Weinstein should get fucked up in the cell for the rest of their lives. Like Kendrick. Like again, these cats were holding on to this stuff.
Yeah.
And waiting for the right moment to bring it out. To any women playing his music, know that you're playing your sister. Oh my goodness. But he's calling them little kids, says he's 30, you're 37, but showing up as a 7-year-old. I mean, Cleveland. If that wasn't enough, if that wasn't enough, he came with Not Like Us yesterday during the NBA playoffs.
There's a new one?
Like Not Like Us yesterday during the NBA playoffs. Like Kendrick, I don't know. Kendrick, it wasn't even halftime. And I think he had a million views before the end of the game.
I have not heard that latest installment, Cam.
Man, it's the best one of all.
That's how fast and furious this material is coming out. Wow. It's about to be enough for an entire CD here in a minute.
Right, for sure. Oh, we can make a CD just on these tracks going back and forth. This is the best one of all, though. Not Like Us. This is a banger.
This is better than Euphoria?
A banger. And where I say Euphoria and 616 was just smooth, mellow beats. Kendrick heard somebody told Kendrick, "Don't do that again." Somebody told him, "Okay, he's coming with club beats, club bangers. You need to come with a club banger, and this is the club banger."
Not like
nothing us. Like Not Like Us.
Okay,
putting it on for the whole West Coast, and I love it. I'm here for every minute.
Ooh. Well, whenever you put the coast on your back, it's always a different. It's always a different energy. Always a
Say,
different.
Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better never go to Cell Block 1.
Ooh. Wow.
Called him Malibu's most wanted.
Oh, well, that's not nice.
Tell the pop star to quit to quit hiding. Fuck a caption. I want action.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
Kendrick,
listen. I'm gonna have to listen to that one before there's more breakdown of the lyricism of that one. I need to hear that one. You know,
look. Then he talked about then he gave him a history lesson. You know, I like to do this week in history. He talked about how cats abused Atlanta, and then he says you called Future when you didn't see the club. Little Baby helped you with get your lingo up. 21 Savage gave you false street cred. Like Quavo said, you could be from the north side. Why 2 Chains tell you you're good, but he lied. This is a banger. You got to hear this one. It's absolute banger. It's better than all of them. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague. You a fucking colonizer.
Ooh.
Like, dog, this was again. They've been holding on to. Kendrick was holding on to this, but Kendrick got 3 in a row, which Drake kept pumping initially 2 weeks ago. He's poking the bear and wanting to hear something, wanting them to say something. Now, Drake, you got it. He put it out there. I mean, Drake had a couple bangers too. Now, don't get me wrong. That Family Matters is a dope beat, but we 3 songs past that, Drake. That was 3 songs ago, dog. Now it's time to show up again. You talking about you going on vacation and we gotta pay to hear your name. Yo, bro. It's time to reclaim your name. It's time to reclaim your name. Man, this fans again. I can remember hearing the Sugar Hill game for the very first time. Hearing the message from Melly Mel um, for the first time. Hearing the bridge, the KRS One, and those guys beefing about who came up with started hip hop back. I mean, this is a long way from that. This is a long way from that. We've never had 7 songs that we just reviewed. 7 songs dropped in 1 week with 2 cats going at each other. I mean, shout out to either. I'm not really a Drake fan, to be honest with you. To be 100%, haven't been really a Drake fan. He makes good music. I'm not saying I dislike him. Just not really been a fan. And I certainly never bought one of his CDs. But shout out to Drake. Shout out to Kendrick for bringing hip hop back. And like, this has been the most exciting week in the genre. Cleveland, am I wrong? Am I overstating this?
Not from a content standpoint, you can't understate it because, like you say, it's unprecedented. I mean, certainly, like we were saying before, perhaps other music has been more anticipated that you kind of looking forward to. But as far as this actual content, the amount of it, no, it's never ever happened.
And this is incredible, fans. Tune in if you haven't tuned in. I mean, I might need to write something for myself on this. And in fact, I'll put this together and put the links together so you guys can all hear the music if you haven't heard it already. This is bananas. So, shout out to both these guys for keeping it alive. I say these guys stay far away from each other. Kendrick, you stay. You stay in Compton. If you move to New York, Drake saying he moved to New York, got an apartment in New York. Stay on that side of the border. Drake, Toronto not playing any more games. No, you go watch the Toronto Blue Jays games, okay? Don't come over here try to mess around, okay? Right now, let's just keep you all safe.
Are we Biggie at the Soul Train Awards? I'm just saying, drawing the line like that? Like,
I mean, we just need to keep things.
Don't even come over here. Type.
Go your corners. I mean, I'm not saying he's not welcome over here. Obviously, he probably got a house over here somewhere, whether it's LA, Miami, wherever it may be. But we don't need any what is they stray bullets flying around. You guys, let's keep the music clean. obviously it's not PG. So we went past the PG. Drake said I was trying to keep it PG.
Let's just keep it on wax, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's not let it get overboard, like violent.
Man, guys, but it's been check
We're already
check out
past all the other stuff. I mean, it's
check out
gotten way too personal.
voiceofthefans.org.
Yeah.
I'll put something together for you guys to see and just mark this moment in history, because this has just been banger after banger after banger. Good music, something you guys can enjoy, listen to. And Drake, you're on the clock. As of right now, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 1:00 my time. Drake, you're on the clock. He's three deep in you right now, Drake. You got to come with something. And I don't know. I don't know. It's well, I don't. Who's playing chess? You tell me. you tell me. Again, I say Kendrick is 3 deep in him right now, and it's going to take a lot to uncover this last track. It would take a lot just to get out of the 616, then to Meet the Grams. And once you hear the Not Like Us, like Drake, you're buried. Like you're digging out of dirt. You know, the dirt is on top of you. Now you're digging out of dirt, Drake. And I don't know if you could dig fast enough, buddy. So Drake stands. You better put a phone call out. Cause man, after if you haven't heard Not Like Us, you need to go hear Not Like Us. And then you might be throwing your own dirt on Drake's grave right now. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is meant just to give you guys a little wet your palate on some sports topics that we usually cover during the week. We hit you guys every Wednesday night, 7:00 Pacific Standard Time. But I just want to wet your palate on and give you guys a little content. We talked about the NBA Finals, obviously. Talked about some boxing news, and man, this this hip hop feud is just it's overtaking my life here in the last couple of days. Turn on just like that, fans, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Thank you guys for tuning in. Cleavon, thanks for being a part of the show, big dog. Thank you guys, those who tune in. Sports Anissa, Boots, SB23. Thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. And fans, thank you for making our voice your choice. I'll let you soon.